In this video, I'm going to show you the complete roadmap that you need in 2026 to blow up on Instagram. Whatever you consider blowing up to be, getting followers, brand awareness, making money, this is the video for you. Without any further ado, let's get right into the video and let me share with you some sauce. So in this video, we're just going to be covering the foundation. So let me just first go over like who this video is actually for. This video is for people who already have an actual fucking business, have an offer, that have been either doing paid ads in the past and they want to scale organically, or they just have a passion for building a personal brand. They want to share insights, value, all that kind of stuff, and they want to build a personal brand, essentially, for whatever reason. Whether that's making money long term, being able to sell whatever fucking product they want at any time, just like Hormozi does with like glasses and all that. So that's for you. And you may be starting out completely new, or you may already have a personal brand, or you may be, even just wanting to scale things further. This video is going to cover everything. We're going to cover strategies on how to grow, how to position yourself correctly, so you don't fuck yourself up, and all that kind of stuff. This video is more so just going to be a foundational piece of content that you need in order to grow properly and not fuck yourself over. So, working with a lot of clients, you have to understand blowing up on Instagram as a personal brand, especially if you're just starting out and you have no resources online, you're coming from paid ads and all that kind of shit, it takes a lot of fucking time, okay? So, number one, it takes time, okay? And if you don't have the right mindset from the start, you're gonna get fucked. So recently we had this client where they paid us and their mindset towards the whole thing was, okay, I'm just going to pay them, and if they get a deal, it's going to pay for itself. That is a stupid mindset to have. And mind you, these people had 4,000 followers. Who knows how they gathered those 4,000 followers? The last time they posted was months ago, and they were averaging like fucking 100 views to a couple hundred views at best. So if you're gonna have that situation in your account and your mindset towards it, I'm just gonna pay somebody and I'm just gonna okay, whatever. I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And they stopped after a month. If you're actually gonna take Instagram seriously, it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take your conscious effort to actually make it work, especially in the beginning. Yeah, let's take Hormozi as an example. Okay, Hormozi at the beginning, sure, he sold his company for 50 million or some shit, right? 46 to be precise. I don't know. But he had money to deploy into social media. He had a shit ton of money to deploy into social media. And that guy, all he had to do is show up on camera and just yap. Talk shit, right? And he had a team who distributed for him. But it's a lot of people, they want to be Hormozi, but they don't understand that when Hormozi was actually starting to make content, he had 50 million, probably even more, in budget. And you're telling me you're just starting out, you're maybe making 100K a month, 300K a month, and you're like, I want to be Hormozi. Have you sold a company for 50 million? Do you have 50 million worth of stories to share? You fucking don't, most likely. So at the beginning stages, number one, the biggest mistakes you can make is obviously having this bullshit mindset that, oh, I'm just gonna pay somebody, it's gonna take care of itself. It's not going to. But number two is having this mindset, I'm gonna compare myself to Hormozi and this dude and that dude and all that, right? It's just gonna fuck you up because you are not these people. The biggest mistake in general that people make is comparison, because comparison is good for motivation purposes or whatnot, but comparison is stupid when you're actually making business decisions, because you don't understand why somebody's making those decisions. Oh, if Hormozi's doing it, it must be good. Hormozi has so much money to test and fail, he's still gonna be rich. Rich. You don't. You have to make calculated decisions. You have to be scarce with your money. You're not making hundreds of millions. And plus, Hormozi probably doesn't sell to the same audience as you. Hormozi probably doesn't sell to the same ticket size of people as you. He's buying companies. His acquisition.com. He is buying companies, investing into companies. He's dealing with companies They're like Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. Like, he's dealing with big boy companies. He's not dealing with B2C market. He's not selling some sort of course or maybe a service. But even that service, maybe you're servicing people who are making $1 million, $5 million, $10 million a year. Hormozi's businesses, they're probably doing $10 million a month, you know? And you're trying to compare and make business decisions based on Hormozi when Hormozi's like fucking, oh my God, light fucking years ahead of you. It just doesn't make sense, right? So that mindset reframe is very fucking important. Like, you actually have to take time and actually be hands-on with all of these things. Because even now, like, Hormozi's super hands-on with his brand. Like, yes, he has the team, but it's like everything Hormozi does goes live. Like, it goes public. If he wakes up at 3 a.m., it goes public. If he goes to the gym at 4 a.m., it goes public. If he hosts a big fucking event, you bet for sure it's going to go public. There's a big team getting paid for it. So even in that sense, even he who is not hands-on is actually hands-on in terms of how much he's paying for distribution. If he didn't have a team, he would do it solo. I don't know, fucking Layla would do it or some shit. I don't know. But it's like Hormozi, well, he can now invest into a bigger team. So if he definitely has a bigger team. There's always a camera following that guy. So it's like he never changed the hands-on approach. He just like outsourced it. But he's still very hands-on. Everything goes public. Every event, every meeting that he's on, I can bet it's fucking filmed. Because it's content. You never know when he's going to spill some fucking value that can be clipped up by some fucking editor. You never know. So every single second, every single moment of his life has to be documented and on camera, right? So that hands-on approach is super fucking important. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so it takes time, and you have to be fucking hands-on with this shit. Now, next thing is you have to be very clear on like what do you actually want to do with the brand. Okay, because what do you want to do? Because like there's Caleb Ralston, which ultimately Caleb Ralston, if you guys don't know him, he is the guy behind Hormozi's brand. Again, we all like to give credit to Hormozi, but we don't understand there's like a whole team behind it. Videographers who tell him how to film shit. There's people giving Hormozi advice, you know? How to film shit, how to structure it, how to script it, what to talk about. Fucking creative directors, you know what I mean? Caleb Ralston, he was Hormozi's dude who did creative direction. And Caleb, he is always about, he says like, what is the end goal that you want to achieve with the brand? Do you want to be a household name? Do you want to sell your product and just fuck off? Do you want to create a bigger impact? Okay, like what is the actual purpose and what is the actual meaning with your brand, with your personal brand? Okay, so you figure that out, and then you ask yourself, how do we reverse engineer it, essentially? Okay, how do you take that goal and, okay, now you have that goal, how do we achieve it? What kind of content needs to be made? What do you need to speak about? What do you need to associate yourself with? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. My goal with my personal brand is make money, grow my agency, get more clients from my agency, eventually build up the agency so it makes money for me, so that I can be detached from, okay, I have to make this content in order to make money. And now I have the money from the personal brand. And now I can actually use my personal brand to teach business lessons. Much like Hormozi does it. Hormozi doesn't necessarily have to make content for money. He's at the point where he can make content just for the sake of it. Just for like, he can wake up, he can be like, I feel inspirational. I want to make this type of content to inspire somebody to take action. He can make that piece of content because he's just passionate about it. And he can still make money off of that piece of content because he has years behind him that built him up as an authority. Right now, I don't have that. Right? So I want to have that. I want to give you all the experiences, lesson I have, so you can see me as an authority. you and thousands of other people, so you can see me as an authority, so that I can detach my personal brand and making money, and I can just wake up one day, go off, I can talk about whatever, and it doesn't affect how people see me, it doesn't affect how much money I make. You know what I mean? Like that's the point. Separate making money and my personal brand, so I can use my personal brand to actually be personal, so I can talk about the stuff I want to talk about, and I don't really have to worry about, oh, I'm attracting this type of person, I'm attracting that type of person. I don't give a fuck. I already have the money. So now we need to reverse engineer that. Okay, well, how do I do that? You have to find out what you want to do long term, reverse engineer it, and now you have to get a little bit technical. Okay, who are you going to be serving, right? Who is very big, aka your ICP. Okay, so who is your ICP? Dialing in on your ICP is pretty much going to determine everything. What content you make, how you post content, how you present yourself, what you talk about, what little words and phrases you say, what formats of content ultimately, like you really need to be dialed in. I have so many clients that sell different stuff. I have clients, their demographic is people like Brez Scales. Young, rich, known, famous. I have also clients who their demographic is blue collar businesses, and their audience is quite old. 30, 40, rarely ever below 30. So the content that I make with that client is going to be much different versus the client that's trying to attract somebody like Brez Scales. As you can imagine, the mentality is different. The time they grew up in, the customs, the tradition, everything they know, the perception is so much different. Therefore, I cannot use the same strategies, the same formats, the same words, anything. I cannot use the same shit for both of those clients because it just doesn't make sense. And then I also have that same client who's trying to convert 9 to 5 people into the business world. I have him wanting to start an info product, and he wants to sell to business owners who already have an info product, so he can help them scale info product. So he has that older demographic, 9 to 5, and he also has business demographic. Like the content we're making for those two types of people is completely different. Their mindset is different, their beliefs are different, tradition, how they grew up, what they're thinking on a daily basis, what content they consume. Like 9 to 5 people, they're not market aware. They're not aware of sales letters. They're not aware of promo videos. They're not aware of any of that. So you can easily come to them with a promo video and they're going to be like, oh my God, this is the best shit I watched. But a business guy, he's well aware of sales letters. He's well aware, and he sees a video, he can smell that you're trying to sell something to him. So the approach has to be much softer with him, has to be more organic, more natural, all that kind of stuff, right? So who are you selling to is going to determine everything, right? So you have to dial in. You have to understand, like, the mindset refrain. Shit takes time. Okay, don't be a fucking retard. Okay, what the fuck did I just draw? Shit takes time. Don't be a fucking retard. Be very hands-on. Just like Hormozi, perfect example. Then you want to figure out, okay, what actually you want to do with the personal brand. What's the long-term goal? And you want to reverse engineer it. And then who are you going to be serving? Who are you going to be serving? Who is your ICP? Who is your dream follower? One of my friends, his name is Joshua. He has this saying, who is your dream follower? And he's saying that dream follower and ICP are pretty much like the same shit. They're the same person, but the only difference is like financial qualifiers. ICP might be making 50K a month. A dream follower might be making 10K a month, but like they're pretty much the same person. And dream followers are going to be like, as they watch your content, as they progress with their life and business, they're eventually going to become your ICP, right? That's who you are going to be talking to in your brand and in your content. What is next? Next is once you dial in your ICP, you have to ask yourself, what are their desires? What are their desires? What are their interests? What are their pains? What are their problems they're dealing with every day in life? What are some of their failures, some stories that they relate with? Okay, relatability, right? What if you tell a story, how likely are they to relate with that story? Like, and all of these things are essentially your content ideas, okay? So content ideas. All of these things are essentially your content ideas, and all of these things will be something that you can make content about. If your ICP is interested in family, you can talk about family. If their pain is similar to yours and your pain is going to a 9 to 5, talk about that. If their problems are not being able to scale their business or constantly dealing with fucking clients churning, talk about that, right? And again, depending on if you are a coach or if you are somebody who's like running a service-based business, you generally always want to talk from a point of experience, right? You never want to talk from like, immediate value. Like you never, like, I don't know who you're selling to. Again, this very much depends on who you're selling to, but often, like most times, you want to talk about from a place of experience because that's what places you as an authority and not some fucking idiot who's like making a video. And also, once you figure out these things and your content ideas and how you're going to position your content, you have to figure out the formats. So content ideas, I'm going to put this here. Format, super important. How are you going to approach this person? Is it going to be a talking head video? Is it going to be a talking head, TH? Are you going to clip this shit? Is it going to be more long form focused? Is it going to be more short form focused? Like, what is this going to be, right? Like, how are you going to position yourself? And that's fine. It doesn't have to be Instagram. Maybe you're on long form, maybe you're on short form, it doesn't have to be that, But the format is very important. And by the way, maybe you are at a point where you can afford to have every single format. Written format, video format, audio format. Like there's a bunch of people who are, maybe they cannot watch, but they can listen. So they're like driving a car and they're listening to you. Just like Hormozi, he has PDF, he has an audiobook, he has all kinds of ways you can he has a hard copy. Here's all kinds of ways you can have people consume your stuff. That's really important. That's what a format is. And then you also have to figure out your message, right? Your message is super important to figure out. I have to start a new page again here. What is your core message? And you can call this your offer, but like, what is your core message, right? For example, Jamie Haynes' his message is get richer. And then he has a whole story, whole set of things he can talk about in that message. So I'm just going to write it down, get richer. And then Hormozi's message, you can pretty much say Hormozi's message is like just work fucking hard, right? And then he has a whole set of stories that he can talk about and really, get you to appeal to him with that message. So what is your actual message? What is that message backed up by? And by the way, all these things actually take time to develop. So it's like, don't be fucking discouraged if you can't figure it out like immediately. This takes fucking time. Me personally, I haven't gotten a clear message just yet. It's probably going to be something like lock in on content. Like quote, I think I spoke about this on one of my videos, but it's like lock in on content is like a valid message for me to have because I've grown my business a very hard way, which is like through manual outreach, lots of rejections, right? When I could have done it the easy way, which is content. But I guess there's also like caveats to it where like maybe you couldn't post content because I didn't really have experience. But anyway, it's really important that you dial in your message as well because that's how you want people to remember you. Okay, like we're aiming when I'm talking about personal brand. I'm not just talking about like a small niche personal brand. I'm talking a big ass fucking personal brand that everybody knows and everybody remembers. So now, as you have your message dialed, you have your desires, interests of your audience, all that is dialed, and as you understand the mental frames that you need to have to actually blow up on social media, now you have to optimize your page. You have to start moving. As you can see right here, like we are moving from more like strategic stuff down to more technical stuff. So now you need to optimize your page. Why? Because first of all, we need to dial in like the content, the types of content that we're going to be posting, the formats, how we're going to talk, what we're going to be speaking about, all that kind of stuff. And the reason we need to dial that in is because that is going to determine who we're going to be attracting. But now the page optimization is going to determine whether the person that is on the page will stay on the page, follow us, nurture, get nurtured, watch more of our content, and actually get interested eventually to buy from us, right? So page optimization, very important. Usually here are some pointers. Very good personal profile picture. So don't fuck around with some bullshit logos. Like that's what I see people do, some bullshit fucking logo that I make in Canva. Cheap, not good. Personal photo that is like actually good. Like you can look at so many fucking examples. Brett Scales actually pulled up a really good one recently. I like it, so you can take a look at that. Jeremy Haynes, Alex Hormozi, like really simple profile pictures that look fucking awesome. Profile picture, your bio has to clearly tell people how you helped them, some results, funnel people into like a YouTube video. Especially if you're just starting out, a lot of people make the mistake of actually like immediately selling something like a landing page. I prefer, especially if it's a new account, doesn't have too much authority in the space, I prefer to funnel people into a YouTube video so that you can actually funnel people into more content. That's the whole point. We want to funnel people into more content. When you're, again, don't compare yourself to Alex Hormozi. A lot of people, or people like that, a lot of people look at Alex Hormozi and they're like, well, Alex Hormozi, he is putting directly his website link. Well, he's fucking Alex Hormozi. He doesn't need people to nurture him. You're already nurtured. You already know who he is, his story, what you like, what he likes, all that shit. But people don't know you. You're not Alex Hormozi. So you have to get people, give them more content first. Give them more before you ask. So bio, that's the principles that I use for the bio. Highlights, again, super fucking important. Highlights, they need to be, again, professionally made, personalized. They need to be very direct and straightforward. What I don't like is when I go on a profile and I just see a shit ton of traveling highlights. Like, okay, sure, I can. You can give me one highlight that's about your life, and within that highlight, you can show like you traveling, doing all that shit. But what I really want to see is like your life story, your results, what you do, like just short information. Or what I do, for example, my profile is like optimized for like quick stuff. Like I don't want people to like get nurtured because like I'm relying on outreach, for example. I don't need people to be nurtured. I just want them to come look at my profile and realize immediately that I'm authority. So my profile is set up in that way where I have all of my clients' profile picture set up on the page, so they immediately know, or they insinuate that these are my clients, And then you need to have some sort of pinned posts that, tell people who you are, again, what you do, and your results. Again, you always want to lead with proof. Proof is like the best friend you have. And then you can have some carousels. You can separate carousels and your reels, because your carousels are there to nurture people and your reels are there to attract people. That's how it should be. And then once you get page optimization done, you can move on to the next part, which is actually putting into practice and starting to post content, right? Post content, boom, boom, boom. And then you put all those things that we just talked about into action. You put the messaging into action, you put these things into action, you put the mental frame, the reverse engineering, you put it all into posting content. Now, the best thing you can do when you're posting content is hire a really good person to post the content for you, to figure out, like you still have to figure out all this shit regardless, but it's like the right person. You have to hire the right person who's going to take all that shit and figure out what is the best type of content to post for you, what is the best format, all that kind of stuff. You shouldn't be doing all that shit alone because, number one, it's a low ROI activity. You're a business owner, you have a business to run, and ultimately definition of business is just like connecting people to do shit that you are supposed to do, kind of being lazy pretty much. So that is what you need to do, is delegation. Delegation, oh my god, that's B. Delegation is going to be your number one friend when it comes to creating content, because, for example, Alex Hormozi, I think he only makes X, like Twitter content on his own. Everything else is delegated. The only thing he writes, he obviously like speaks at events and shit, and people film that for him. But I think the only thing he does is he writes Twitter posts and somebody else goes and repurposes it into maybe YouTube scripts, maybe YouTube community posts, short forms, into Instagram carousel designs, all that kind of shit. So posting content has to be delegated. But again, you also have to be on it. You also have to review the videos, make sure they're aligned with your vision, make sure that you're filming the content on time, make sure that you're constantly reviewing the data, all that kind of stuff, working with the editor, providing him more footage every single week, working with the content person, working with the videographers. Like, you need to be on it. This is pretty much it for this video. Again, I'm not gonna go into like the technical shit, but you need to clip this type of content. No. This is the foundation that you need for Instagram. You need the right framework, mindset framework. You need to reverse engineer what you want to do with the brand. You need to figure out your ICP. Then you need to figure out who that ICP is, what appeals to them. You have to figure out the content ideas they'll be interested in, the format they'll be interested in, ideally all formats, so you capture all kinds of audiences. What is the message that you ultimately want to hand down? Page optimization, so you appeal to that type of audience, and then content itself. That's very technical. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into technical stuff. You can apply this knowledge and go watch some other videos to actually learn how to technically apply this knowledge. Or you can just click the first link in the description that's going to be below this video, and you can check out some of the people that we have helped scale with social media using these exact strategies, how we helped them, what kind of results we got in them, and ultimately you can book a call with me and my team to see if we can help you as well. Or you can just message me on Instagram if you have any other questions. Maybe you just want to start on your own. Maybe you just want to hire a creative director or something for the start, and then maybe we can talk about helping you long-term in the process. Who knows? But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit notifications button so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.